Hi, friends. I don't know about you, but the weather around here has been kind of intense this year. Living in Oregon, I wind up thinking about the weather a lot. So I went through my poem collection and pulled out a pile of poems about weather, atmospheric phenomenon, and temperature. And I'd like to start off with a little bit of sunshine. So here's one I call Sunny Day. Still pretty cold, but the sky is pretty cloud free, and I'm pretty sure there's some prettiness about me. Sun rays with fun ways of brightening the scene illuminate the world sitting outside of my screen. More than 16 million colors can come from my LCD, but I don't think any are as blue as the sky that I see. And the green in these leaves leaves me feeling fine, hues against blues making shades sublime. Unrelenting color coming from the window, my eyes peeled wide for that photon glow. There's still work to do. You've heard I'm not done yet, but I might take a break until just after sunset. It takes just a little small turn in my head to look out the window from my workstation, so I get lost looking at the leaves a lot. Next, I'd like to share a very fun poem about a particularly long summer day called The Sun's Still Out. An intriguing woman asked me to a picnic date. She was charming and disarming, so I said it sounds great. We picked a date and then I waited, patient but excited. I almost didn't notice when the sky and sun decided not to bother with their dance and just kind of hung out. Like at 2 in the morning and the sun's still out. It's just not going down and the moon is not around, but I have a date coming up so you won't find my frown. I find her at the park. We pull out snacks and trade smiles. We chat and we flirt, and I notice all the while that the way that the sun brightens up her face feels like a masterwork crafted out of beauty and grace. She catches my gaze and asks, "Well, do you like it?" I didn't quite follow, so she pointed to the sky with a finger and a squint. The sun's in the right position to light her picnic perfect, or at least that's what I was wishing. You did that? I asked, putting two and two together. Are you, what, a witch with control over the weather? She let out a giggle that was distinctly not a cackle. Dear, the things I do aren't the result of babble, or bubbling pots, or casting lots. It's a different kind of energy. The universe and I have a special kind of synergy. There's no divinity in me, I'm just as human as you are, just a bit more in tune with the rhythm of the stars. Don't be alarmed, I'm not saying this to intimidate, I just thought we ought to get to know each other since it's our first date. I filled another plate, I handed it to her, and I said, "This may be a lot to take in, but I've got an open head. I think I'd like to learn about you, learn to like you, maybe love. And I don't think I'll mind if the bright sky above sticks around for 1,000 hours or just a couple more, because nighttime with you is something I'd like to explore, and I think that the days with you sound like a lot more fun than the days when I knew what would happen to the sun." I love that one a lot. It's really fun to read, and I just love writing playful dialogue like that. But the sun can't stay out forever, so let's bring it down with a poem I call Desert Sunset. Scattered against matter that ends up in the way, the frequencies that we perceive every single day all emit from one well-lit, churning, burning fireball. Without its fury, I am worried we wouldn't see it all. So every night when it sinks down below the horizon, I like to watch to make sure that I have my eyes on the last rays of illumination as they disappear, to catch a few more colors before the dark gets near. The stars try their hardest to brighten up the black, and the moon glows too when it doesn't turn its back. But in the shadow of the planet, I only see the shades of the hues I make use of in wonderful ways. So I bathe in LCD beams and dream through RGB nights until the window gleams with full spectrum sunlight. I used to be a lot more of a night owl, so that little observation is kind of nostalgic to me. Something about the cadence of that penultimate line, bathe in LCD beams, dream through RGB nights. It just kind of catches in my head, so that line just drifts into my consciousness from time to time, like when I'm taking a shower or walking the dog. It does look like the rain is coming in, but real quick, let's take a look at something strange that the sky did one day in a poem I call Sky Not. One evening something happened that I thought for sure could not. The sky began to buckle and churn, then tied itself into a knot. We were all a bit disturbed, and no one knows just what it means, but the knot is content to sit and watch. At least that's what it seems. I guess we'll have to wait and see just what happens next. For now, I kind of like the newly entangled sunset. For a while, I was writing just like 4 to 6 line poems every day, so I have a whole bunch of those little short ones in my archive. And a lot of them are like connected to a piece of fractal art I was working on or something like that. Next up is a poem that I wrote just yesterday about a peculiar type of rain that we get here in Oregon. This is called Sliver Rain. There's a kind of rain in the Northwest Pacific. Well, there's quite a few, but let me be specific. If you turn your head right, you'll see streaks in the mist, but if you glance out the window, it's likely to be mist. If it was colder, they'd be sharper and you could see them glisten, but in the foggy wet, your best bet is just to listen. You can hear the patter of a million little drummers, but if you ask where the next one lands, you're left puzzling in wonder. This rain only comes when the sky is a silver haze, and it usually comes along surrounded by some stormy days. But don't mistake the downpour as the main attraction. We rain every way, so we like the subtle action. And what can I say? Oregon is known for a rain, so I just spend a lot of time thinking about it, being rained on by it. You know. You may have also heard that Oregon had some pretty big fires last year. One of them got within a few dozen miles of where I live and covered the whole city with an ominous red haze. That was a pretty scary time, and so this is what I had to say about it in the moment. A poem I call Fire on the Mountain. Fire! There's a fire on the mountain! Better start filling the tub with the water from the fountain. Oh, fuck it. We're gonna need more than a couple of buckets to douse the burning houses on the mountains up above us. Oh, I don't love it, this shade of red that's taking up the sky, and the salty bitter ash I taste whenever I step outside. Oh, I don't sleep well. I just watch hell play out on the data maps because the evac zones have grown each time I tried to take a nap. Oh, I keep the cats inside. They think this prison isn't earned. How do I tell them if I let them out their lungs will burn? I try some pantomime, some gentle coaching, and some good food. It works for a little bit till they come back with that attitude. Signals on the screen suggest my friends are out there too, still staying uncombusted, but busting down with fearful moods. Oh, friends, don't get me wrong, I write these words with tears, but I promise this is not a time to lose your mind to fears. I've seen you caring, seen you sharing, seen you offering your spaces. Your faces shine through hazes like lighthouses souls can chase. Ash dampens down the sound, but I'm astounded by your voices, leading people away from danger and replacing tragedy with choices. The records say this is the worst, but we should save the panic attack because you can't stop the Pacific. We're always gonna grow back. We're going to grow back. We're always gonna grow back. When the fires feel like sun, we're gonna grow back. When the lightning tries to stun, we're gonna grow back. When the floods start to run, we're gonna push the flow back. We're not gonna go back now that we know the trap. We're gonna learn when we burn, and we're gonna get smarter when we grow back. We push harder when we grow back. We go farther when we grow back. We're a part of something larger, one another, at our own backs. This is Oregon. We're the golden land at the end of the trail, blazing a path forward with the country chasing at our tail. You've been watching us battle nasty gases all damn summer long, and if you think the smoke will stop us, I can promise that you're wrong. There's a fire on the mountain, and I'm grateful I'm not dead, but I'll be happy when it's over and I can finally get to bed. I'm happy to say that we didn't have any fire damage here, but sadly, a lot of folks lost their homes to those fires. Growing back is a good plan, but it does take some time. All right. Let's cool things down a little bit with a light poem about some special snowfall called Diamond Snow. Softly swirling, shimmer and shine, crystals with structure sublime, harder than ice, rock or steel, diamond rain is quite surreal. When it falls, take cover quick, but stay around in case it sticks. Don't try to catch one on your tongue, just fill your pockets when it's done. I probably wouldn't enjoy breathing the kind of atmosphere that can rain diamonds, but it sure would be pretty to see. All right, I've got one last one for you. As I went through my own healing process, I lost a fair bit of weight, so I suddenly found that my experiences with weather was a lot more intimate. This is Frostfire. Now that I carry a little bit less mass, I find that I mind when it gets cold fast. Don't mind me as I squeeze on past. Try to get a grasp of the thermostat. Give it a little tiny twist. Listen for the click. Hear the hot air as it starts to do its trick. Don't mess with a sweater. You'll just take it off quick. It's too hot or too cold. You gotta take your pick. My hands ache when they get stiff and frozen. The task at hand has to set the temperature chosen. I need nimble fingers when I'm story composing, but I choose a bit more chill when it's time for dozing. Wow. We went through the sun and the rain, the fires and the snow, and I hope you enjoyed this little wander through my weather poems. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to listen. and I'd love it if you share these poems with a few friends who might enjoy them. Real quick before you go, I have one more favor to ask you. If you could leave a comment with a topic that you'd like to hear a poem about, I'll take a look through my vault, and if I have one that matches, I'll put it into an upcoming poem video. If I don't, I might just write a new poem for you. I really want to practice writing about a wider range of things, so let me know the kinds of things you'd like to hear about. All right, thanks.